Hey, what's up, locker room? It's it's Tuesday again. That means it's our day again to cheer, to chat. But this Tuesday, we get a nice surprise, is what I would call it. Right now, our surprise is hurt. Because this Tuesday, right now, the basketball game is on and the Spurs are playing. It's the Spurs and the Blazers, right? But to me, and just the Spurs. And it's the NBA, right? But to me, right now, it's really just the Spurs. It's the playoffs. But I keep telling people right now, for me, it's the Spurs. Or if I'm going to be real, it's just Wimby. Dude, I so enjoy watching this young man play basketball. And right now, as we start this stream, here comes another replay. He just hit the floor, hit his face, and had to go to the locker room. And I mean, he hit his face hard. So, man, we wish he's okay, that he's going to be okay. He got up, tried to shake it off, and then he went to the locker room. I don't know how, with the way it looked like his impact hitting the floor, that kind of impact, that he does not have a concussion or something, but we hope everything is okay. Portland's 34-32 right now, has the lead. But so much is going on because the draft is Thursday. The draft is Thursday. And you know what? Speaking of draft, I usually, guys, I'm not gonna. I'm usually like, and I may have said this before. Really, after the draft, you dive all the way in because the first round. You got to remember now, the first round, like what it is now, it's not. It hadn't always been like this. The first round, they used to play the best two out of three. So those games were quick games, which I think made it more interesting because you only had three games to watch before somebody advanced, as opposed to these first round now 7-game series, and so it makes it difficult. So what I'm saying is, if one or two games you can let go looking at the draft, but I'm still seeing it because it's Wemby, you know. But after Thursday, then it's all NBA playoffs, and you're going into that second round where it's naturally more attention anyway. So it gets interesting. We still haven't seen Wemby back on the floor yet. But a lot to talk about with the draft. You guys saw Dexter Lawrence. The Giants traded Dexter Lawrence to the Bengals for the 10th pick in this year's draft. I was okay with that. Now, there have been reports that the Giants want a player, and the way I felt, like I was like, okay, I know everybody wants a player. But what I don't worry about is the Giants got some pretty good pass rushers. And they got a pretty good team. So they got a pretty good situation. They're probably looking for an offensive lineman because they need some offensive line help. So I'll take the Giants jumping in front. And then I heard people saying the Cowboys may trade. That's what a few people have reported, the 12th and 20th pick to go up to get a sixth pick or something like that. I don't know about that either. I would love to see the Cowboys stay at 12 and get Ruben Bain. I've said that already, and I'm not joking about that. You may think if all this stuff that has come out about Ruben Bain and Bain actually can land at 12, you know, people have even said that's Jerry. They were joking about it on my other show, the White House. Excuse me, William McGinnis was messing with me, or we were messing around about it. That Jerry set this up. You know what I'm saying? That Jerry is doing this so he can get Ruben Bain. It's going to be. Then I heard Kansas City really wants Ruben Bain. So I'm looking for the Cowboys to get players in this draft. Right. When I say I'll get player at 12 and player at 20, I don't want you to bungle both together and go up a little to get some top six player and the projected player people are looking at there too. And I know he's going to be a great player and a fine player, but I don't know for the Cowboys situation that I will take it now. And that's Caleb Downs, the safety. Now we're talking about a safety to help a defense that has so many holes, so many holes. You know what I mean? And so that's why I'm not talking about giving up two draft picks for that one and then another second round somewhere. So we go get two of the highest ranking defensive players. And if I'm not joking. Honestly, if I can get both defensive ends and a safety out of it, I'm good. And I've already told you guys, and it just happened to work out like that. I would take, if I could take everybody, if it was to work like that, I would take all the minor players. I would take Bain. I would take Mastodon. I would take a Jacoby, Keontae, especially knowing their mentality of jumping balls. Because that's what I said. This is what I want Dallas to do in this draft. I want you to recognize the guys that love to play football and don't just go and get the guys that did some things in the combine. This is where everybody goes wrong all the time. And you hear about coaches having egos, right, guys? You hear where they say, well, why did they do that? The guy didn't do much in college. How did they draft him so high and think he would do all of this? Because that's the coach's ego. That's what the coach's ego is. Every coach, excuse me, says to himself, man, he sees a guy runs fast, jump high, and you know what he says? Man, how can this guy become great? Man, he must not have been coached right. Nobody coached him right. He must not have been coached right. Not because he sees such phenomenal skill sets. He runs this fast, he jumps this high, and oh my God. And the reality is, it's about how much he loves to play, not the tools that God has blessed him to play with. He got no choice over those. He has a choice to magnify them and grow them by working very hard, you know what I mean, or just be what they are. But he had no choice on him getting them. You know, he just, you know, he just got it. And some players that just got it, usually at times they don't really want it on the field as much. So that's all we need. And I lean towards my Miami guys all the time because I know those guys. Really know them, dude. And they'll have a champion's mentality. And that's why I'm wearing this shirt. You see what I'm saying? Because it says a champion. They put on a shirt that said a champion, even though we didn't win the national championship. But they got to that game. They felt something. They fought something. They fought through something. They went in there every away game, an underdog, and fought and shut down teams and shut down offenses. And that's what you want. That's what I want the Cowboys to go and find. And I was telling Gene, I was telling Nathan earlier today, man, I feel good. I'm a happy man. I'm a happy man, and I'm man enough to man up and admit I was wrong. And I feel good because I was wrong. And I mean, I'm so happy I was wrong. And it raises my hope up just a little bit more. Let me tell you what I mean. I was for sure something would have broken by now with the George Pickens situation as we come down this close to the draft. Some kind of friction would have been dropped somewhere. And the first shot would have been, oh, are they going to trade George Pickens in this draft? Because but I was wrong. Well, I got about 48 more hours before I'm officially wrong. But I love the fact that right now, to this point, I was wrong. That gives me more hope. That gives me more hope. Let me tell you why I say that gives me more hope. Because the reality is, Tulane, Jerry's pulled back. No, we're not talking all the negotiations. We're not doing anything. But also the other side is understanding. Because if the other side felt like they were going to try to maximize and squeeze a way out, or had many more opportunities right now, they'd be squeezing before the draft, trying to get moved maybe before the draft. Mm. So I'm a happy man. Maybe this thing gonna work out after all. And that's why I'm saying the combination of that makes me, to stay with George. You work that out on this side. And what we're about to see right here, you go and get me two first rounders, defensive players. First rounders, defensive players. With the right mentality on defense. Putting it with Quinn, big boy from Green Bay. Yeah. And everybody talking about trading those two places to get down. That's too far off the ball. I think he's a phenomenal player. But I look at the best player, the best safeties, and every time they show him be hitting his floor. The best safeties in the game, back to the days, oh, it's Baltimore. Baltimore got the boy now. Baltimore had the Ed Reed later. You know, they cannot affect the game more than that defensive line. Now, a great safety would be a great player. But power down the line, we gonna be fine. And I don't know. Hopefully, kid loves the game. I know how my boys love the game. And we get some guys that love the game. Let me holler from see what you guys are hollering about over here. The Great 88. Let's go Cowboys. Cowboys Nation. I'm telling you guys, I'm looking forward to this draft. They were talking about it earlier. They said 6 teams that have 2 draft picks. And then they were going to buy like going down some of the top 2 first round day picks that they had. They had who Harp in there. Who did we get with Harp? Russell Maryland, and Alvin Harper in there. You know what I mean? Two first rounders that did pretty good. So they were doing. I was like, man, and they dude, they had. Oh, I wish I had to get that list. Can you find that list for me, Nathan? Let me tell you the 2 teams because they had 6 teams. They had 2 picks, right? I thought this was pretty good. This was pretty good. And then they were telling you the teams that have had the top success with those 2 picks. Dude, it was one of them were because I was thinking about like, man, what a draft. Like, and a couple years ago, I'm gonna give you one you know right now. A couple years ago, okay, you find it, Nathan, you find it. But I know a couple years ago, remember they talked about C.J. Stroud and Willie Anderson. A couple years ago, dude, both won offensive and defensive rookie of the year. That's a draft, dog. That's a draft right there. You know what I mean? I was like, man, and then because I only remembered a couple of them, and they had one. This the one that made me jump out of my seat, dude. They had the Chicago Bears, Gale Sayers, and Dick Buckers. Do you know Gale Sayers and Dick Buckers? Jokers, please, man. For me, that was the top. I know a lot of you young dudes or young peeps, y'all may not know Gale Sayers and Dick Buckers. But and that was early, it was before me. It was before me, but y'all go do your homework. And I'm telling you, I don't know that you can find two better that you said we got in the first round when you look back on history ever. Ever. They had Ray Lewis and J.O. in there, Jonathan Ogden, which is a hell of a double, too, now. That's a hell of a double. First rounders, same team, Ray Lewis, J.O. Yeah, that's right. Now I'm getting them all. I'm getting them all. I'm getting them all. I'm getting it. And they haven't found it for me. I'm remembering now. They had also Warren Sapp and Derek Brooks. Warren Sapp and Derek Brooks. Recently, that's right. Recently they had the Jets getting your boy, the corner Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson. But man, I was like, dude, I know. And I know nowadays everybody deal with what they see right now in the early right now. But I'm just saying, dude, I don't know that any team can ever top. Well, and you'll have to see the results of it all. But and a Ray Lewis and a J.O., those are great results. Both of those guys ended up in the Hall. But when you start talking about a Gale Sayers and a Dick Buckers, that's just a dude it's just so different. It's just so different, man, for what those dudes were. Trent McDuffie and George Kalafdis, yeah, okay. It won Super Bowls, yeah, yeah. And didn't Trent just get some more money or something? Trent just get some more money. But they were talking about, I'm talking about the two baddest, when they were drafted, the two baddest dudes in the world drafted in the same round to the same team, first round. That was mind blowing. I couldn't even imagine. Like even the C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson and them winning both rookie year, offensive rookie and defensive rookie of the year was a big year. But maybe just my history on what Gale Sayers became. And his Gale Sayers years got cut short playing, and what Dick Buckers was. Dick Buckers, man, that was the baddest dude I ever seen play football, to be honest with you. And this was way before we had weights, all of that stuff, man. It was just real. Oh my God. Y'all got all that information, man. Go look it up. Y'all go see it, man. You know what I mean? Go look at it. Deacon Jones. Hey, Terrador, what's up with that, man? That's the kind of football Deacon Jones played right there. You know what I mean? Deacon Jones getting that thing. Dude, you see, I love weed Sayers. What you talking about Sayers, man? He knows, dude. Yeah, Sayers was, man. Oh, man. There's some dudes. Some dudes come out. Yep. Some dudes come out and you say, like, yeah, that would be good. That'll be good. And you know, like right now, let's bring a present. Right now, the guy that's coming out that everybody's saying will be that. It is like that love kid. That love kid from Notre Dame can run. And he has physical skill set, physical talent. But what I'm telling you, what I saw when when we played, I saw a game he played in. I think he had a hurt leg. He had a hurt leg, and he kind of bounced still on one leg and carried a dude in the end zone. It was a big game, and I was like, oh, see, that showed me something. That showed me how much he loves the game because he was banged up and he was hurt. And this was the game he wanted to play in this game. This was a big game, bowl game, some kind of game. He wanted to play in the game, wanted to be with his boys. I was like, okay. See, now when you get that kind of talent and that kind of love, now you got something. And you get it at the running back. Yeah. You got some. You got some. Now, I don't know if he's the next, what I would call now is the standard for running backs, B. John Robinson. You know what I mean? Because I want to see him. That B. John Robinson is different. I mean, physically different, skill set, and then love the game like that. He don't want to be a cowboy. Who don't want to be a cowboy, man? You know, Ruben Bain want to be a cowboy. Are you joking? Dude, y'all, let me tell y'all something. Do you know if Ruben Bain came to the Cowboys and got sacks and turned around and did that thing where he does at Miami, he does that Bain thing, that Bain, you know, what's those sayings that Bain? Who said, you know, that Bain character? Dude, you know how big that would blow up if this Joker was going around grabbing and getting sacks in AT&T Stadium and then standing up. Wait, what's that quote Bain be saying? Y'all know it. And y'all seen it, and Ruben Bain has it kind of like in one of his little videos. You remember where he says, where Bain is saying something to his people. What is it? Somebody know. Somebody know. It's from the movie. Oh, oh. And y'all know the voice that Bain used, you know, that character uses. That would tie in. Like, I don't know what. Nathan, you guys don't know that? What is that? Let me see that. Hook that up. The most famous quote from Bain, Tom had. Hardy in the dark night. You think darkness is your alley? But you barely adopted the dark. You think darkness? Oh, that's what it was. Hey, over that up. You think dark? You think darkness is your ally? Okay, you think darkness is your ally, but you really adopted the dark. I was born in it. That's a cold statement. Molded by it. I didn't see the light until I was already a man. By then, it was nothing to me but blinding. Oh, that's a cold quote there now. That's a cold quote. Wait a minute. Do y'all understand what kind of joker says something like that? That's cold, man. But Bay said something. Bay, and he turned, I'm telling you, that character. And they just showed AT&T Stadium dude, I'm telling you, it's coming together. It's coming together. I would love that character. Dallas would blow it up. Everything. Everything. It would be instant. Instant success. That piece right, that picture right there. That picture right there. And that's the stand that he does. That thing he does. Yeah, you think darkness is your ally. And he put quarterbacks in the dark. You understand? He'll put quarterbacks in the dark. I'm just saying, you get that with that push inside. Now you work on the back end. Now you work on the back end. You'll have a push inside and a rush outside. This is, I won't go for a super player on the back. I'm going to add to be real super up front. And then I can get players that are not as super on the back end because the quarterback's going to have a short amount of time to get that ball off. And now I want to go after the guys that know how to read plays and jump plays. We can get back to having and building and looking for another Trayvon Diggs. A guy that can read the routes and understand the routes. And with this kind of front line now, you can jump those routes. You can turn that ball over. You can go from not just a defense that couldn't stop anybody to a defense that can play. You can go to a defense that's giving the ball back. Oh my God. I know it, guys. I know it. I know it. Oh my God. I hate that sometimes. Uh, Man, I hate that. I hate when I'm right like that. Mm. Yeah, it's just reported that Wemby is in concussion protocol and he will miss the remainder of the game. There's no way, yeah, it's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. Mm, that's unfortunate, man. I feel so. I'm sorry for him. Mm. I hope he's well. Hope he gets better. But I knew when he took that fall, you know, and it was Gene. I was on. It was like we talked about it. He hit here, but that ground that came fast. Exit game the second quarter will not return concussion protocol. Mm. Yeah, yeah, we're gonna wish him the best, man, and hopefully he'll be back for the next game. And I guess, see, I was just talking about this now. So imagine if this series now, and was two out of three, and you miss, and Wemby gets in concussion protocol, and yeah, that would have been a whole different thing. So that is unfortunate, but they'll still get this series because they got enough games in this series, and Wemby, he'll be back real soon. So we'll wish him the best. But dude, did you just put up that AI, Nathan? You put up, look at see that bang right there. Oh my God. I wish they can't see that, can they? But that's cold right there, y'all. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, and you see what I want something, and get my pathology, get my thought process. I can't wait till Thursday too. You know what I mean? I love weed. That's his handle. That's what I was saying. To say it. I can't wait to Thursday. You know what I mean? So I want to say that because that came out and do just and I saw you ask me also about his arm length and all of that. Here we go again. That's the kind of stuff that I'm saying that I talk about all the time. Like I wonder how do guys feel like going in a room saying, well, his arms are a little shorter than we like. I mean, but I mean, he played pretty damn well, but I wouldn't draft him. His arm's just a little short. Like, are you joking? You're stuck to what you call the measurables that you'll miss on what really is to get measured, which is the football game. That's the kind of thing you worry about. But there are people that have that stuff. They have that thought in their minds, and they'll stick with it and ride it out. So we hope, yeah, yeah, we hope that craziness. We hope everybody thinks like that, except the Dallas Cowboys, and we'll take them. Shout arms and all. And keep talking about it like that. Keep mentioning it even when he get there. Keep mentioning it because what I know is it'll make it like he's a villain. And then his Bane character becomes even more to life because he's a villain. And Bane, you know, you, you adopted darkness. I was born in it. That whole thing that he said is gonna be cool, man. I just can't wait. I can't wait. And we gotta say congrats to Wemby on Defensive Player of the Year. I was just talking about Will Anderson and my man uh CJ Stroud. So let's give the man who's out right now, Wemby, his props for getting Defensive Player of the Year. 100% Defensive Player of the Year. So he got all 100 of 100 votes. That's pretty incredible at 22 years old for that young man. I'm telling you, I believe what's in my brain is what's going to be in the brain of everybody if he can stay healthy. Like the NBA is no longer going to be the NBA. It's not going to be anything. It's going to be the Wemby. Because that's all you're going to, well, you'll see the rest, but it's what you'll want to see more than anything. You might as well say, man, hey, y'all catch, let's go catch the Wemby. Let's go catch the Wemby. You know, dog. Y'all saw a couple things that went down today, and I do want to talk about it. I saw where Mike Vrabel made a statement. You guys see that? Made a statement. Interesting. I love Vrabel. Talking about yeah, Wemby is an eraser. The situation that went on with him and Diana Rossini. He said he wanted to talk to his players first before he certainly make any statements out here. And I was like, wow, can't wait to see how this all plays out now. But he looks like he's such a good dude, a good, hard-working dude. You know, football players, I think, understand each other like that. And yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah. They understand. So I don't know. This is, he said he's trying to get better. He's going to get better. Is this it? First, we give us saying thank you to your. Yeah, that's what he's saying. He told him thank you for your patience you've shown in a personal and private matter for me and obviously everyone involved. See, that's smart. Obviously, everyone involved. He didn't, wife and Miss Rossini, all of those things, which was very good and calculated. He didn't mention any names. He just stayed very broad and wide with it, which, yeah, yeah. He said I could have addressed you guys sooner, but it was important to me to have a conversation with the players, which I did yesterday very candidly as we began our off-season program, which everyone is excited to be a part of. You know what I mean? He's in the genes. Stacey James had mentioned players' availability. And it was never my intention to have them speak to you or address you before I did. I appreciate that. I appreciate that because now remember now he's talking. He knows his players is going to hear all of this. Now I'm not saying he's not telling the truth, but it was smart to not say anything anyway. And it was smart for Diana Rossini to resign. Obviously, if these guys are going to now open and do an investigation, the NFL said they're not doing an investigation. You know. I don't even want to make no jokes about that. I don't make no jokes about it because maybe it's just too early. You know, maybe it's just too early. But he was smart. He put his players in this. He talked about everything, and he also did. I think this. He said, "Hey, wait, go back because I said, he said, I also didn't want to take away from our, the draft this weekend. This is an important time for us, our organization, and the excitement and joy that those players are going to have that we're bringing onto our football team. So you know what I mean? He was smart in saying how he said it, what he said, and trying to apologize without admitting anything. And he addressed all the people he needed addressing here. The wife and Diana up early and his whole team and then the draft, his future guys that are coming in. So then he kind of closed it with, we never want to be the cause of the distraction. And what comments and questions I've answered for the team and with the team. Because that's what he just said, remember? To our guy, Stephon Diggs. Mm, yeah. Let me see the comments. Let's just talk about what y'all want to talk about. I just thought that was interesting. You know, mm, everything everybody dealing with. I thought that was interesting, and I thought it was interesting, and I went all the way there because of this. June 1st, they are saying A.J. Brown is going to be a Patriot. And I thought interesting here. Because, okay, yeah, they'll strawberry. What they do. I agree. Vrabel handled it well. He really did. Classy. Like real classy. I think he spoke to everybody. Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You called it that. A lot of lawyer speech. Vague but smart. You know. And in your mind, you say, well, he already answered it, but we ain't really getting that. But it was brilliant. It was right. It was right. It's what it is. It is. It is what it is, buddy. And we got to move on. But okay, why do we make it what we make it? Why do we make it what we make it? That's and everybody feels to me sometimes just feel like everybody, I can't believe y'all doing this. I can't believe it. Like, man, you know, there's a reason that there's certain things aren't against the law. First of all, you're not breaking the law. But the private matters. The problem. Yeah, I'm gonna try to. I try to stay out of this. Because people are people, man. And if things went awry in the garden, of Eden, I always envision it like oof, God Himself told Adam, "Do not touch that apple." Eve came along And Eve said to Adam, I know you have been speaking with the Almighty, mighty. And I know what he told you when he told you don't bite that apple. But I believe deep down in my heart, in the book, confirmed what I'm about to say. Maybe it wasn't verbatim, but something like this. I believe Eve said, Adam, if you don't bite that apple, you'll never bite this apple. And Adam bit that damn apple. And ever since, we've been biting on apples. If Adam just wouldn't have touched that damn apple, maybe we would not have been touching that apple. I guess that's just my thoughts. Okay. I'm so crazy. That's just my thoughts, you know. But boy, it's undefeated. Just undefeated. Irv, I want to know who you would take with the 12th. I'm telling you. Again, I'm telling you, I'm taking Bane. I'm taking Ruben Bane. And I'm going to say this. If Bane isn't there, I'm taking Masvidal. I'm taking a rush in. I'm taking somebody that and I know my primate, we need a middle. You need a middle backer. Dude, you need a middle backer. I need some rush ins. I want powerful one group. I want one powerful group. One powerful group. And if you can do that on a defense, the back end will fix up. The back end will come together. And that's what we have to do. One powerful group. You know, you win. Remember what I told you, and the two peeps, the first round, two people, they had Warren Sapp and Derrick Brooks, right? Both of those guys, Warren Sapp, Derrick Brooks, that solidified the middle. Middle of the field, they dominated. They dominated. Both won Defensive Player of the Year one time. Both of them dominated. But that was two different levels. And then they got John Lynch on the back level. And they came with the Tampa 2. The most effective, dominating defenses are the defense that has a line. And that's the way, a terrifying defensive line. And that's the way Dallas has to go about it. And so that's why I'm telling you, I will go and get those defensive ends. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here, guys. But I'm going to go and give me some bite apple. I'm going to give me something to eat. You know what I'm saying? Give me something to eat. You know what I mean? I'm just messing around with y'all. Adam, Mike, Ray, everybody biting the apple out there, man. Let me just tell y'all this. Y'all know I love y'all. Y'all be safe out here. Y'all be careful out there. Y'all watch them apples that you're about to bite. Be careful. Bite those apples. Hey, God bless, peeps. I can't wait next week. When we talk, we shall know. I'll be able to tell you the kind of defense we're going to put together. Isn't that great? We'll be getting into second round stuff in the NBA, which would be great, but we'll be putting the team together now. Now you can start assessing after the draft. I hate when people start saying, what do you think the team will be this year? And they're asking even before the draft. Like, stop. What are you talking about? You don't even know who's on the team. All right, wait, let's just wait. Let's get past the draft, and then we can start talking about what a team should look like this year. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. All right, let me get in here. You guys go get to that app. Bye.